Oh, actually I do, yeah. I had an appointment earlier today, and I did make a reference when asked if I had done an eye appointment lately that it bothered me when I couldn't tell the difference between dark blue and black, and that was a joke on The Simpsons one time, and then the optometrist said, well, that's a common thing with men. It's like, oh, so that means I'm normal, good. And then I evoked that again at the physician appointment I had earlier today, and we'll get back to that. Oh, right. Now for the regularly scheduled jokes. Well, we spoke of rat races earlier, and I looked it up on my phone, and I know some of it was the AI overview, which and I already know the AI isn't always accurate, but it was still an eye-opener on what they had about the origin of the term rat race. The claim was that it went back to the 19th century where there were little rat races that you could place bets on. Now, why does that not surprise me? Because I even learned about the sport of bowling in junior high when we went bowling, and the history of the game of bowling involved gambling as well, apparently as to why it was 9 pins and then went to 10. Okay, well, I've been to Super Bowl parties before. I know you can bet on just about anything, including what outfits that the halftime performer is going to wear. And it's like, wow, guess you got a lot of money burning a hole in your pocket if you're willing to bet on just about anything. Not me, though. And then it said that the term evolved over time to its current use dating back to the 30s and 40s, which refers to any exhaustive and competitive routine. And it's like, yeah, I guess that would explain why I remember as a teenager visiting my old man, and he had a shirt on that said, just when you thought you were going to win the rat race, along came faster rats. And it's like, yeah, I see how that t-shirt would sell pretty well. Well, it works for my dad anyway if he bought it. So there was that. And I noticed the banking place means tails from the bank, like tails from the cricket. Yeah, that river is not running dry anytime soon. Although I have already said that I like how they have retirement parties at the bank, because it sure beats the massive layoffs that they had at my former employer. And it's like, wow, people actually last long enough to retire. It's like, that's cool. They'll have cake and punch or salt drinks or whatever. Although this past week it was somebody celebrating 40 years of service. So if they've been with the bank that long, they're probably eligible to retire by now. But when we first heard about it, my boss just forwarded an email from the senior leader, and it said, we're honoring Kathy. And I'd say, who's Kathy? Because all they gave was the first name. And granted, I don't know a lot of people at the bank. I don't need to get my job done when I'm in a check shop all day and working by myself, but it was still a valid question. We found out, oh, it's somebody that's under the same senior leader as me, and it's like, well, I guess it's a good enough excuse to leave the floor when they're offering us cake and soft drinks, so I was willing to do that. And while there, the guest of honor was entertaining a few other people on the opposite side of the table about being in Ireland for the Vikings game and something about a scam related to lodging while they were there for the game. And it's like, well, that doesn't surprise me at all, trying to scam foreigners for any reason. Gotta be careful. Well, yeah, there was that. And then the other bank story of the week would be my boss kept telling me, dump out the shred bin. Well, I'm the only one that uses it, and I don't have to dump it out very much because I wait until it's pretty much completely full. And I said, I'll do it at the end of the week. Why? Because I swap it on another floor, and that's Friday, the day that most people are either working from home or take the day off. So then nobody's going to say, hey, what are you doing? Because I know that happens when you're still in cubicle land. People are always trying to turn at each other because they're petty, and I don't miss that. Yeah, obviously you're not busy enough, you've got enough time to notice what I'm doing. I remember that from being in cube land when I clashed with people. Thankfully did not crash with them, yeah. That would be really problematic. Oh yes, the weekend. I am wearing a St. Paul Saints hoodie. I do like going to Saints games. There was an event at the Saints Stadium this weekend, and when I spoke about doing that with a colleague, she was thinking the Saints still were playing. It's like, no, their season's over. But I like going to events at the Saints Stadium when the Saints are playing, and they had a family-friendly Halloween event. At least that's the one I went to. There were 2 events, I didn't go to the other. And it's like, yeah, I found some redeeming qualities to being there. I mean, I did some bowling. It wasn't 10 pin, it was 15 pin, and then it was with an orange rubber bowling ball, not the typical one that you'd see at a bowling alley, but it's like, yeah, that works for that type of event. I like bowling. And then there was also an art page they gave us because they have an art section at Saints games. And I was saying, well, if I got started on using colored pencils, maybe I should fill in as much as I can on the art page they gave us with different pumpkins and gourds on it and leaves and whatever. And I had most of it filled. I used just about every colored pencil that they had in that container. And then when I was leaving, they said, yeah, it looks pretty good. And it's like, must have been because of the color variety. Although when I was leaving, I didn't like the conversation I ended up with because I was being asked if I was going to do the haunted house event in the evening. I said no. Why? Because you have to sign a waiver. And they felt the need to tell me why you had to sign a waiver, which is condescending because I know why. I looked it up. When you have to sign a waiver, that means it's dangerous. I remember watching the movie Urban Cowboy. If you wanted to ride the mechanical bull, you had to sign a waiver so then they won't get sued. Duh! And then the physician appointment. The physician still asks about me performing, and it's like, oh, I guess I talked about that too much for a while, unfortunately. And then after the appointment, I went to Mall of America and ate, and at the Japan store, I found the Charlie Brown Snoopy item. Great mouthwash. And it's like, yeah, I haven't found all the Charlie Brown items yet, and I think it's cool that it's popular in foreign countries too, so yay for the Mall of America. Well, that'll do it for me. Thank you, you've all been great.